Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen College Campus Cooking. We are here on the beautiful campus of Delaware Valley University with Chef Lee Chizmar of Volant Restaurant in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Great to have you here, Chef.
It's great to be here. Beautiful
Wonderful.
campus.
That's
Beautiful
gorgeous campus, right?
Incredible.
And with us is Alan, who is a junior here at Del Val.
Yes.
And you're here to learn from Chef tips and techniques about how to make some good, nutritious, fulfilling meals here on campus.
Yeah.
So what do you have in store for us, Chef?
So we have 3 different dishes. We're going to do a shrimp and shiitake fried rice. We have sort of like a play on pork and sauerkraut with a potato cake.
That sounds fun.
And a little bit of sausage. And then our last dish is a orecchiette pasta with a mushroom and kale sauce.
Oh, you can never go wrong with pasta.
Yes.
Am I right about that,
Yes.
Alan? Yes. Excellent. So where do we begin, Chef?
So I think we're going to jump right in. We have some shredded potato that Alan has already done. I'm going to just pass this over to him.
Okay.
And you can use this ring mold here. There's a plate right there. You're just going to go ahead and press that stuff in as you go.
Okay, so he's actually making like, it's almost like a latke.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Like a potato latke.
Like a roasty potato on a much smaller version. And that's actually perfect. You want to get the edges down.
And did you squeeze out the liquid from the potatoes, Chef?
Yeah, so what we did was we shredded them, salted them, a little bit of sherry vinegar to them, and then we squeezed them dry. We grated them into water because the potatoes will oxidize on you. So from there, once you squeeze them dry, it gets rid of all the extra moisture. You're left with the starch, which really fries up really nicely.
Excellent.
Right?
Now, it's important to get the water out of the potatoes, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't, it could be a disaster, especially
Yes.
when you're pan frying. And that, as college students, you always want to be careful. Anytime you're using oil in a kitchen, you want to be really cautious. Moisture is not a good thing.
Moisture's
Water's
not
a
your
good
friend.
thing. No, definitely
right?
not.
Okay, very good.
So this, we have a cast iron.
Okay.
We're on kind of medium heat here. And so let me show you the first one. I'm going to have you finish a couple more of these guys.
And you have some oil heating up in the
Oil
pan?
is heating up in there.
Terrific.
Right? So we're just going to slide this right over.
Any
and
specific
then
type of
drop
oil,
it
Chef?
down. So something with a high smoke point, a neutral oil like canola usually works best.
Great.
So Ellen, if you want to go ahead and do probably
you go,
2
Alan.
more of those. So this is also a pretty good heat. I have it kind of on medium here. I don't want to go too high. I have good bubbles, so it's kind of right where we want to be.
Great.
Right over here, I have a hot saute pan starting, and this is going to be for our orecchiette pasta.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring this. I'm going to add a little neutral oil to this too.
Great.
And we're going to start off. This is obviously a mushroom pasta. Volant, one of my restaurants, actually is Latin for mushroom. So mushroom is a big ingredient.
Excellent. And how many restaurants do you have, Chef?
So I have 2 locations of a ramen restaurant, Mr. Lee's Noodles. I have a Silver Shell Kitchen Counter, which is retail seafood and kind of like a New England style clam shack. And then Volant is our flagship, which is a farm-to-table restaurant located in Bethlehem. We deal with all the local farms and agriculture around. We pretty much write the menu daily on what we get from our farms.
So farm to table is a goal for you. Is
Yes.
basically your what you live by.
Yes.
And then really that is consistent with Delaware Valley University. Farm to table, pasture to plate.
It's very much, this is the lifestyle that we're living and the philosophies that we live by. The college and kind of what we do at the restaurants really shares all those values, which is kind of exciting.
And actually all the produce that you're seeing here, especially those tomatoes over there, were grown here at the university in the beautiful greenhouse.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely remarkable.
Did you know about the university before you came here today?
So my daughters actually ride horses, and they have a big equine program here. My daughters are young, but they come down here quite a bit for horse
When you're
shows.
riding through the university, the equine facilities are vast.
Yes.
I had no idea until I came here.
Yeah,
But
no.
they're vast.
It's incredible.
And an equestrian team too.
So I have a little bit of oil. We've hit smoke point, which is good for mushrooms.
Great.
So I'm going to go ahead and add these in here.
And you can tell you've hit smoke point when?
Just when you start to see these wisps from
Yes.
the oil, you don't want too much because then it's too hot and you can
Yes.
have a flare up. But this is nice and low. You can hear the sizzle, which is
Excellent.
great. Usually when I add mushrooms to something, I'll just kind of give it a little shake, but you don't want to steam them. You
Okay.
want to sear them pretty quickly, saute them fast. So I'm not adding too much to it yet. If I mix it up, it's going to cool the pan down too much and we're going to end up steaming out a little bit more.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, very good. And Alan's ready with his next potato pancake.
What makes our E360 program so powerful is our partnerships. And Our prime partnership right now on campus is with Terrain, who is investing in our South Campus, placing there a retail shop, garden cafe, and event venue at which our students will work as part of the E360 program and which will source products that we grow here on campus.
The main reason people come to Del Val is the small class sizes, kind of the family feel of things. So you get to know your professors, you get to know your staff members, really get to know your students well if you come to Del Val.
I know they have wonderful internship programs here at Delaware Valley University. And we were talking before the show, and you've actually taken part in an internship.
Yeah, so as part of the E360 program, I was able to work at a restaurant called the Brookdale Bar and Grill.
Okay.
I worked as an intern to manager, as well as working in different other positions as a busser, bartending, waiting.
So you essentially worked in all aspects of the restaurant and
Yeah.
really got to know the operation and the business. And,
Yeah.
and you did this over the summer?
Over the summer, yeah, for about 2.5 months.
Sounds like a really great experience.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna add a little bit of butter to this. Alan, if you wanna grab one of these knives, we can go ahead and start prepping these
We can
peppers.
switch here. Wonderful.
I think the key with fried rice is really the vegetables and the quantity of the vegetables. So when you try this recipe at home, it's definitely something to freestyle a little bit and
Yes.
add whatever you have, cauliflower, broccolini, all kinds of great stuff, because it really goes well together.
It's a great way to clean out your refrigerator.
Yes, very,
right?
very. And with this, I know one of the things is really good leftover rice is kind of the key the next day, or sometimes to do it at the beginning of the week, you cook a big batch of
Big
rice,
batch.
have it in your refrigerator, and then you have whatever you have, it's very fast.
That's
you
great.
just kind of throw things together. and
It's great
it's really
time
nice.
management for a student as well.
Yes, for
Right?
sure. And as far as nutrition goes, it's a very healthy way to eat. It's very healthy, good carbs.
Yeah.
Rice is very healthy for you. It
Well,
gives you
especially
good energy.
nutrition and carbs. I know you participate on the football team here at the college.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What position do you play, Alan?
I play offensive line at right tackle.
Okay. So now, good nutrition is probably something that's on your mind,
Yes.
right? And how many times a week do you practice typically when you're in season?
In season, almost every day of the week.
So it's an aggressive schedule.
Yes.
So eating well and nutritious and filling is really important for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, chef. So what do we have going on? You added some carrots to that pan
I
in the
added
back.
carrots, some garlic, and some onions.
Great.
And next we're going to have to add our sauerkraut. I think one of the things I'm going to do is jump over here and just grab some of this sausage.
What kind of sausage is that?
So this is it's actually a fully cooked pork sausage that has a little bit of smoke to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and slice that up and kind of combine it into our dish.
Okay.
So that's kind of the play on pork and sauerkraut. You could do this with a pork tenderloin or a pork chop, but I think, when you're short on time and just looking to get something done really quickly.
A sausage is quicker.
I think it's a really great way to go. So you can kind of see here, I've kind of
Yeah.
flipped our first cake. Alan, if you want to take a look real quick.
So about
so-
how long per side, chef?
So you're looking for probably about 4 minutes a side. And then
you're
when they're
looking for
cooked, this is always something that you could do ahead of time and just reheat in the oven. It works out
Okay.
really nicely. So
we have 10 minutes, chef.
our mushrooms here are salted, starting to cook up pretty nicely. We're getting ready for the rest of the ingredients.
Great.
To our pasta water, we're going to go ahead and drop our orecchiette.
Okay.
Alan, if you
little
want to go
ears.
ahead and add the sauerkraut back here. So what I would do is grab one of those spoons. This one is actually slotted. And just go ahead and give me a couple scoops right in there.
So you're adding the sauerkraut right in with the sausage,
You
carrot.
don't even really have to worry too much about it.
onion.
Some of the liquid is good. So just kind of go scoop it right in there. All right, I think that's good, Alan. So we're going to go ahead and set that back.
Great.
We're just going to jump back in. The rest of our potato cakes here are cooking up very nicely.
I love that nice brown, crispy texture.
And that really, back to getting the moisture out,
Yes.
is really key with these, really squeezing them as dry as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to give you a spoon here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some of the shrimp right to here.
So shrimp fried rice, no need to order takeout, right, Alan?
Yes. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just kind of give this a little shake. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and begin. We have our shrimp just cooking a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and add some carrots to it. And I'm just gonna kind of do this in compartments, and then we'll kind of bring it together. Alan, if you wanna go ahead and add some of the peppers that you cut for us.
Great.
I'm jumping back over to my pasta. I wanna go ahead and add a little bit of garlic.
Okay.
We have some minced mushrooms, and I do this just to help bring the sauce together.
Layering
a
mushrooms.
little texture layer in there too.
What kind of mushrooms were they, Chef?
So these were cremini and just white button mushrooms.
Okay.
When students come and they major in food science, they take a variety of classes, and what makes Del Val unique is that all of our food science classes have hands-on experience. So right from the beginning, they're taking introduction of food science, so they learn all the different components of food and how they function, and then we go on and apply that to different things that you would be doing in careers.
College campus cooking is a great concept. How we can teach students to use what they have available in their kitchen to make a healthy, nutritious meal.
So we have some really nice
Shallot?
shallot, garlic. Let's go ahead. We're going to add a little bit of butter to this.
What did you add to the rice, Chef?
To the pasta I just stirred, over here we have the Napa cabbage.
Oh, the
right?
cabbage, that's right.
So now I'm gonna, Ellen, if you want to grab your spoon and go ahead and give it a good stir there.
Very colorful, the shrimp fried rice.
Yes. All right. So our kitty's cooking. I have my mushrooms and my shallots sweated out really nicely. We add a little bit of salt to that.
Great.
So let's come over. We have our kale. I'm gonna go ahead and add this.
Shredded
here.
kale.
Yep. We have a little whole grain mustard here. This is actually jumping back over to the pork and sauerkraut. One of the things that I really love to kind of kick up. And you know, we make, of course, all of our sauerkraut in-house at Volant. But this is something it's always good to have in your pantry, a jar of sauerkraut.
Oh, yeah.
And
yes.
then to that, this is one of my mom's things. She would always add her carrots, garlic, and a little onions, a touch of mustard to kind of brighten everything up there. Okay, so our fried rice is looking pretty great here. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, that is not sugar.
Well, you knew it right away, though. You could tell from the texture.
So we're going to go ahead, add just a touch of salt.
Things are coming along very nicely in here. The aromas are intoxicating.
Yes. I'm going to use a little bit of sherry.
You're putting the sherry into the
so this is
kale and
my
mushroom.
pan here. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of sherry. We'll see how that kind of deglazes.
Yes.
All right.
And what is that going to do, Chef?
It's going to give us a lot of flavor.
Okay.
So one of the things, especially with the fried rice and this, we're looking, you're developing a fond, and that's the stuff that sticks to the bottom. That's all flavor. So now we're going to add the alcohol to it. And the flavor of the sherry and the flavor of
So you're
white
building,
wine.
you continue to build flavor as we go.
Yes, we're just, and
Okay.
this is going to reduce down, kind of meld that umami of the mushrooms and the kale together. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. We're just going to kind of push this to the side. All right. Alan, if you want to do the honors, we'll get that going. So we're going to just kind of cook the rice on the side. Wait, one thing I like to do just before I do this,
Butter.
I'll usually throw a little bit of butter in
Everything's
there.
better with butter.
And that kind of helps also get you a little brown. So once this cooks up now, I'm going to push this to the side just a touch. And just turn up my heat just a little bit. All right, so go ahead. You can add your rice right to that side and kind of keep it separate from everything else. Okay, so next I have here, and I have a little bit of mushroom stock.
Okay. Is this something that you made in the restaurant?
This is something that I made in a restaurant. We can get into it. But you could use, a vegetable broth. You could use a chicken broth or a chicken stock that you buy. It will work very nicely. Something else I will say, whenever you're adding alcohol to a pan, you do want to pull it away from the stove.
Yeah.
Right? And that with the sherry in particular, wine is not as dangerous, but sometimes if the pan's really hot, you could get a pretty big flare up.
That's a great takeaway from today, Alan.
Yes. And you
Yes.
always want to listen to, anytime
Listen
anyone's
to the
talking
chef.
about oil, you want to make sure you listen, because I've seen over
A
the years, you
catastrophe.
see some crazy things
Yes.
happen. All right, so I have my stock in there. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of heavy cream to this.
Okay. Is that heavy cream mixed with some butter?
No, that was just
Just
heavy cream. It
heavy
just
cream.
has a little skim because we were
Okay.
trying to reduce it just a little bit for time here. Okay, so we're getting nice and crispy there. All right, so let's push the rice to one side.
Great.
And then we're gonna go ahead and add the eggs, okay? And this is actually something Alan in the back, we were talking about it. He likes to have his yolks and his eggs separated because he really likes the flavor of the yolk specifically. So next we're gonna start with the yolk and see how he's cleared away a little spot here for it. It's kind of perfect. This is going here. I'm gonna check our pasta as we're going.
We're excited about our nutrition program here because there's a lot of interest in disease prevention, and nutrition is a key part of a healthy lifestyle. And so there's a growth in nutrition science related jobs, and we're excited because Del Val is a great fit for nutrition. Eating fruits, vegetables, whole grains, a variety of foods, that's all part of a healthy eating pattern, and that's what we do here at Del Val. We have orchards, vegetable farms, greenhouses, we have a dairy, animal farms. So it's a great opportunity for students to come and really understand and experience where their food comes from.
Del Val is a very unique institution which was founded on the principle of experiential learning, and it is embedded throughout our curriculum in our signature program, Experience 360, which really allows them to develop a resume that differentiates them from their peers so that when they head out into that first destination post-graduation, they are ready for the career trajectory that lies ahead of them.
This is just a little bit of sesame oil too, so I'm gonna hit that right in there. And we'll do just one more little, oh man, look at that. You guys see how that's coming together?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh man.
The color's
You want me to mix this
spectacular.
with
Yeah, go ahead, I think it's time to, and then you can do the same thing again with the egg whites. I'll bring those right over here.
So
All
he's
right.
separating a separate part for the egg whites.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's just mixed that all together. So now you have your egg yolk and your rice. Nice texture there.
Oh, that's
All right.
gorgeous.
Just give this a little stir over there too. Oh man. All right. So something else. We have GGS. This is kind of key. Shallots, ginger, and garlic.
Shallots, ginger, and garlic.
And this in Chinese and a lot of different Asian cooking, this is like the forefront.
The Holy Trinity.
Yes, the Holy Trinity, exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this right in here.
Do you want me to add some butter?
So go ahead, give that a mix, and then you can mix that right in with the rice, and then separate it again, add your butter, and hit it with your egg whites.
All right.
All right? So that's coming together. Our pork and sauerkraut is good. Our potato cakes are good there. Orchetti is almost there. Now this, I'm just kind of reducing. All right, I want to reduce the cream down just for sauce consistency here.
Okay.
And this is also nice. I've chosen this very large saute pan. That's surface area. All right, so things reduce quicker. And I think at this point we're pretty much ready. We're going to add our soy sauce.
Excellent. Wouldn't be fried rice without soy sauce.
That's right. And a little bit of hoisin. You could use oyster sauce.
Okay.
A little bit of hoisin works really nicely.
Whatever you have on hand.
Yeah. All right, so now we're ready. Alan, you can go ahead and mix this, mix it up. All right. So a touch of garnish here. I'm gonna add a little bit of sesame. I'm actually gonna turn this heat up pretty good. We're gonna get the rice a little bit crispy.
Okay.
And
Really, it ends up being an ultimate one dish
one pot wonder,
meal.
which is great.
Yeah.
You know, we can come up. We'll go ahead. We'll plate one at a time here.
Okay. Oh, they look so good.
Two of our cakes there. All right. So
Here we go, our
this, we're just gonna
sauerkraut.
Go ahead and add.
Oh, that is such a
sauerkraut
hearty
pork.
dish.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is great. And next, I always like to garnish.
Sour cream.
So, yep, a little sour cream on there. Let's see.
So you're going to strain that and then pour that right into the sauce, right?
Yes.
The orchetti goes right into the sauce.
Right into the sauce.
Okay, can Alan plate the rice?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Doesn't that smell great, Alan?
It smells fantastic.
You did a great job on that.
Thank you.
All right, and the last
All right.
we have
and
is the
last
pasta.
Is our pasta. I'm just going to hit this with a little bit of fresh herbs. Alan, if you want to grab the Parmesan, the shredded parm.
Yeah.
What kind of herbs did you add, Chef?
A little sage, rosemary, parsley, chives. Yep, go ahead. Probably
Again,
half of
probably
it right in
anything
there.
that you have on hand.
Yep, here's a little thyme. I think thyme really goes great with these. One more. All right, we'll save the rest for garnishing on the top.
Oh, looks gorgeous.
really came together there.
Yes, and keeping with the Volant theme, the mushrooms, the layers of mushrooms.
All right, you go ahead and garnish your fried rice there. A nice big pinch on there.
So some sesame seeds.
A little scallion.
And some scallions.
I'm going to come in here with just a little fresh Parmesan.
What a gorgeous aroma.
And this is just a little garlic breadcrumbs that we cooked.
Oh, and that adds a nice little texture.
Yeah, a
too,
little bit of
probably.
olive oil, breadcrumbs, and a couple whole cloves of garlic, just toasted up.
Beautiful. I think I'm going to dig into the fried rice first.
All right.
That
We will join you.
interesting to me. Does that beat any fried rice at a Chinese restaurant you've ever had?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Right? And the orecchiette with mushrooms. I love the crunch that those garlic breadcrumbs add. And of course, potato pancake.
We'll jump right in there.
Oh, they're so crispy.
You can just kind of hear that crunch.
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna grab some of that.
Right now.
Sauerkraut. Fabulous. Ultimate hands-on learning experience today at Delaware Valley University. Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you so much.
And Alan, your skills for being with us today.
Yeah,
Please come
thank you,
back,
Alan.
Chef.
Thank
We
you.
can't wait.
Thank you.
College campus cooking, it's a fantastic way to bring chefs and students together to show them how to do some healthy cooking, nutritious, local agriculture. Here at Del Val was a fantastic place to start it off.
Working with Chef Lee was awesome. I learned new techniques and learned some new stuff about what I can cook at school and what I can bring home to cook as well.